celebrating the power of possibility.
I'm Frank Robinson, and I believe anything is possible.
Welcome to Anything is Possible, part 2 of my interview with Frank Robinson. And to kind of catch you up, Frank was born in northern Alabama. Time and chance and circumstance moved them out of North Alabama to Harriman, Tennessee. His mother and father were there in Harriman, Tennessee. His mother was a domestic worker. His dad was a janitor. His father faced disability. 3-hour bus rides to go to school in a segregated South. His father dies as he's completing high school. Frank, you had to figure out what was next, but you had the principal at the school you attended believed in you. He said, you've got something special, you need to go to college. So you find your way to Tuskegee Institute, and you saw great people like Chappie James and others that inspired you. You decide that you wanted to go into engineering, but you also were looking at re-engineering society, right? To figure out ways that we could all live together in peace. And so you're part of the civil rights movement in Alabama. You find your way to the University of Tennessee. You came behind Theodis Robinson, and that was difficult because it was very segregated. You go to work for TVA, you get married, your life is moving forward, and all of a sudden your number is called, you get drafted to be in the war of Vietnam. And so you were talking about the fact that there were 2 wars going on at the same time, really, maybe more. Certainly the war against Viet Cong, but then there was an internal battle going on in America. So you're fighting for our country, but you're fighting for your dignity within your own country. And you're dealing with the pressure of both. And you saw and experienced a lot of things that really shaped your life. Do you have PTSD?
I don't know. I think about some of the instances, some of the situations that I was put in I remember one instance that really stands out for me. We were having a firefight at a village in the Central Highlands. And we took the village. The first air cab took the village. And naturally there were a lot of dead Vietnamese around. And I remember this, it always stands out for me. This little young girl, I guess she would maybe have been 6 or 7 years old, after we had destroyed the village. See, because the way I looked at it like this, these people had no place to go. Their back was against the wall. This is their home. They couldn't go any place. And when you have someone whose back's against the wall, they don't have any choice but to fight. But what stood out to me and still stands out to me, in fact, I can see her right now, this little young girl was standing there, and I just said, she was looking at me, tears running down her eyes. You know, she was crying. We had destroyed the village and destroyed our home. And I just get, she's looking at me. You know, she's looking at me. And that always stuck with me during that time. Even now, I can always see her, you know, looking at me, you know, you feel guilty as hell, to be honest with you. But that was life. And
how did that shape you?
A lot of things in my life shaped me, but I guess, you know, I just wonder, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? What are we doing? And now when I go in stores and I pick up a shirt made in Vietnam, I say, heck, you know, was it really worth it? You know, was it really worth it? But you know, once I got back and you know, got back into school and TVA held my job, I got back and I had my job, And I remember one time, I forget what day it was, but my uncle had died in Chattanooga, and he was like a brother to my mother, although they were first cousins. And my mom, we got on the bus to go to Chattanooga because I forget she wanted me to go down there with her. It's been a long time ago, but the incident still stays with me because she was going to the back seat of the bus, and I said, "No, we're gonna sit right here." And she said, "Brother," she called me when she gets upset with me. She called me brother. No, I said, "No, we're gonna sit right here, Mom." So we sat right there on the bus on the front seat. And my mom was afraid because she grabbed my hand. She was holding it real tight. And the bus driver came and looked around and, maybe counted whatever he does and got on the bus and drove away. And once we drove across, she saw everything was okay. She looked at me and smiled. And I said, it was worth it. She looked at me because it's the first time she ever, got on the bus and rolled on, sat where she wanted to sit without having to go to the back of the bus. So it was worth it. I said, my life is worth it. But
wow,
it's been a good life though, really.
Possibility powered by Covenant Health, Home Federal, and the Knoxville News Sentinel.
Now you can listen while you're on the go with Anything is Possible, the podcast.
Get back to your job at TVA, you graduate.
TVA, they let me go to school. They supported me in going to school to finish my degree because I already was a junior.
Right.
So I finished.
So you finish your degree, and you're off to your career at the Tennessee Valley Authority.
TVA, yes.
Did you think you were going to go far there? What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, I had a very good mentor. The branch chief was Bevan Brown. In fact, he died maybe 4 or 5 years ago because I wrote an article in the Knoxville Sentinel about TVA, and he saw it, and he called me and said it was a good article, and he liked everything that was in there. But he was kind of my mentor, and he helped me. And also was an engineering aide and a surveyor in TVA, and so he helped me work on my master's degree, and I got that, and I went farther than I thought I was going to go in TVA. Really, it was quite a journey.
Where did you end up at TVA?
Well, I ended up, I went through a engineering aide, a kind of a draftsman, and then I was an internal auditor for a number of years because once I got my MBA, I think I was the first black internal auditor in TVA. And then I was a economic development director, and they had all the economic development programs under me, plus the equal opportunity programs also under me. And then when Marvin Runyon came to TVA, he put other programs on and made me vice president. I think I don't know if but I think I was the first black vice president in TVA.
First black vice president of TVA. What was that like?
It was quite interesting.
You run into a little resistance?
Always. But because of, I think it was good because of my experience I've had, and I had some difficult times, but I had some good times. And I think the overall experience I had, I was able to deal with that. And I hope that I did a good job.
How did you deal with it? Because obviously people are believing in you throughout your career. Your high school principal believed in you, put you in a position for opportunities, and then Bevan Brown believes in you, puts you in a position for opportunities, and then Marvin Runyon comes along and goes, this is a great guy, puts you in position for opportunity. When you look back on it, did they tell you what they saw in you that made them want to?
That's a good question, Halloran, because when when I was over the contract compliance officer for the whole agency too. And I was in Chattanooga when Marvin, asked me, his secretary asked me to come up to Knoxville. That's when he said that basically, I think you're an outstanding young man, Frank. I mean, he went on to tell me, how I'd carried myself in TVA. And he says that we have a position that we need someone to fill. And I think you are the man to do it. And he told me what the position was, and I'd be the vice president. I said, well, who I'm going to report to? He said, who you want to report to? I said, if I'm going to have this type of responsibility, I need the backing. He said, who do you want to report to? And so I went on to talk to Wiley. The third day, he says, who do you want to report to? And I said, I report to you. He said, that's right, you report to me. So I reported to the board chair.
That makes you pretty powerful.
That makes me pretty powerful.
But that makes a lot of people upset.
It makes a lot of people upset.
How did you deal with the resistance that you got?
The animosity was heavy, and I understood that. But I think because of my experiences, that I was able to deal with that.
You'd already been through so much.
I've been through
so
that, yeah.
You're not easily shaken.
No. When you say something, and I know where you're coming from, but that's okay. I can deal with that.
You know, one of the things that I always marveled at about you, serving on boards with you, being in organizations with you, you're like no nonsense. You're like, get the business done, right? Everybody that knows you to be a man of high integrity. Like, you're gonna tell the truth, whether you like it or not. I'm gonna tell you the truth. We're gonna do it the right way. We're not gonna take any shortcuts. I love that about you. I wonder how that functioned for you in business. Did people respect you more because of that? Because you weren't, first of all, you're a black man. Probably in many circumstances, you're the only black man in the room, but you also are coming in saying, I'm the boss, basically. How did that work for you? And why are you that way?
Yeah, I'm that way because I realize, as I said before, I think that, this is Frank's opinion, I think that the cornerstones of this country is merit, diversity, and empathy. I think that's the cornerstone, and that's what I live my life now. Now, I had to deal with...
First, let's talk about merit. Like, you believe that you got to be good enough.
You got to be good enough.
Period. There's no,
period.
We're not going to lower the standards. We're not going to...
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
I'm eminently qualified.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what you think for, I'm not. Just look at the record. I'm eminently qualified for this job, yeah. But I had to deal with that, to be honest with you. I had a black manager, and I won't call any names, but I had to fire him. And it hurt me hard, it hurt me deeply to do that. He was very qualified, but he thought that because I'm black and you black, you don't have to do certain things. That ain't the way it worked. That ain't the way it worked. But so I had to deal with those type issues, and then I had to deal with just pure racism because so it puts you in a very difficult position. But I tried to be fair and just with everybody.
Right.
Because, as I said, my experience had taught me, especially this experience. When I told you these white kids came in and locked arms with us at Tuskegee, that made me feel good about my country, man.
Right.
Really.
And when that happens, that's what you were saying about diversity. When people come together, you go further faster.
You go further faster. That's what I'm saying. Merit, diversity, and empathy.
Talk about empathy. Why is that such a cornerstone? For you personally, but also you're saying that this is like really the character of our nation when it's at its best.
It's the character of our nation at its best. You couldn't say it any better. Because empathy says basically that you care about other folks.
Right.
Not feeling sorry for them. It just said sympathy and empathy are different.
Right.
Empathy says you care about other folks.
Right.
And to me, that's the cornerstone. That's one of the cornerstones of our nation, is that that I care about I care about my country. I care about the people, no matter what color you are, what race you are. You got to care about them, and I care about the situation that we're in now. I care about veterans. I care about people on Social Security. You know, I care about us as a people, and that's empathy. And as I always said, merit, empathy, and diversity, they go hand in hand. You can't separate.
Now, take us with you with Anything is Possible, the podcast. Stream new episodes weekly wherever you get your podcasts.
Tell me about your family.
Oh, my wife? Mary and I have been married, I think, a little less 60 years. We grew up together. Mary she lived in Rockwood. That's where the school was. But I lived in Harriman, and, you know, as I said, we the first one got the bus. We went all over the place to pick up these other kids. I just, you know, we just kind of latched on to each other basically in the ninth grade, and we've been together ever since then. I mean,
You're in it together.
Yeah, we're in it together.
Ride or die.
We've been there all our lives, you know.
Your kids, tell me about your children.
We have two daughters, Kelly and Stacy. Kelly graduated from, and Stacy graduated from Farragut High School, and both of them went to college, and we graduated from UT. Kelly went to Duke after she graduated from UT. And she's a regional manager. She retired now. She didn't retire, she's getting another job. But she's a regional manager for Humana. And Stacy is the vice president of some firm down in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm not exactly sure what she does, but she's doing well. And both of them are married, and we have 5 grandkids. In fact, my grandson now, my baby grandson, he's staying with us because he is working on his master's at University of Tennessee. And everything that we've been through, we look at those grandkids and we say, man, it was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. It's been a good life for us, you know, although they don't realize some of the pain that we had coming up. But we tried to build a fence around them, like the community built a fence around us to protect us from the real world until we were able to deal with those problems. So it's been a good life.
You know, when I first moved back to Knoxville 35 years ago, I had so many people say, "You got to meet Frank Robinson." And,
is that right?
Oh yeah. And the reason they wanted me to meet you as a much younger man then was they wanted me to see someone that was just excellent. I mean, that was, you know, and like I told you at the beginning of our first episode, I just stood back and I kind of watched you move in the community and the respect that people had and have for you. And then when I was privileged to serve on boards with you or be in an organizations with you, the way you operated was just, I always was like, I want to be like that. I was like that. And here's something that stood out to me. And I've known you for a really long time now.
Yeah.
You're always early. You're always early. I don't care where we are doing anything. Frank's going to be there 30 minutes early, an hour early. Talk about that.
Well, Mary, my wife, she talks about that. She talks about that. When we have appointments and we 30 minutes, a part of it, she said, why do we have to be so early, Frank? See, every time we go somewhere, see, we're the first ones there and we have to wait around. I don't know, it's just something that, you know, as I was growing up, it always was something that my dad, when he was, even when I went to Johnson, always be on time. That was one of his main things, to always be on time. And it was just ingrained in me to be on time. If I'm going to tell you I'm going to do something, I want to do it. If I can't do it. I
That's
want
one
to
of-
tell you that I can't do it, but I don't want people to expect something of me, and I've committed to do it, and I don't do it. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
one thing I know for sure about you. Your word is your bond.
yeah, I have to be.
If you say something, that's. I've watched you through the years. You follow up and follow through on your word. If you were giving somebody advice, how to be successful in life, how to create more possibility for themselves, what are the rules of the road?
I think the rules of the road is to be honest, to be truthful. I think truth is the foundation of character, and I think that if you profess to believe something, you have to live your life in that way. You have to reflect what you say you are, because if you don't reflect what you say you are, your hypocrisy will show pretty soon. And so that's my philosophy of life, and that's what I tell my grandson. You can make what you want to be if you're willing to put forth the effort. If you're willing to be truthful about what you want to be, and be truthful and fair with everyone. That's what we try to live, the best of our lives. And I think that's the way that Christ lived. You know, he was the image that he projected is the image that we should try to follow. And I try my best to be the best person that I can. But I still think that those three things that I try to live by. I think that merit, diversity, and empathy are the foundations that makes. I think those are the cornerstones of our country, really. And I think that those are the reasons that our country is a light upon that hill. That's why people gravitate towards America, and I hope we never lose that, because if we lose those three cornerstones, we're going to be a different world.
Frank Robinson, thank you for being an inspiration in my life. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.